October 1st. Today is October 1st, and we are on the avenue with our chat time, a new segment that I'm doing. But for each month, we started in September, and I'm going to go over some of those things we did in September. But October 1st, we're at the beginning of the fourth quarter, you guys. We're almost done with 2024. We have 3 months left to get some things done and to change some things in our lives. But October is a special month. It's a month, and I'm going to go through with you how to customize your life in 2025. I'm just going to go through the whole plan that I do for myself. October is special because it ends some things and it starts some things, and we will get to that next. Don't for 1 minute think that I forgot the challenges I gave you for September. I did not forget, and I'm here to hold you accountable for those. So if you remember some of the things that I asked you to do, it was some challenges I asked you to do for September. You want to put them down in the comments. I want to know who did it, who was listening, because I'm doing this to try to help you make better decisions for a better life. And so if you did follow some of those challenges, put the comments down in the comments below. If you did not, go back to the September 1st video and look at it to see some of the things I asked you to do. We're going to build, so it's good to have the background of what I asked you the month before we go to the next month. October, like I said, is a special month. But for September, let's just go over some of the things I asked you to do. The first thing that I asked you to do was to sit down and get yourself a budget if you did not have a budget. The very next thing I asked you to do was to clarify your goals. I wanted to make sure you had your goals clarified. The next thing I asked you to do was to prioritize what was important and cut out distractions. I was very specific about that, so go back and listen to the video. The third thing I asked you to do was to be conscious of your daily decisions. Make sure you are making those decisions that align with your goals. And the last thing I asked you to do was to stay disciplined throughout this whole process. If you did any or all of those, you are well on your way to really designing your custom life. Now, I work for Keller Williams as a realtor, and one of the things we want to do is live a life by design and not by default. And you can live a life by design. As a realtor, I see homes all the time. I see homes that are built just as plans tell you to build them. And then I see homes that are custom built. And when you have custom built homes, they have a plan to go by, and you can move some things around. You can do some things, or you can just start from scratch and have an architect lay out your plans for you. And that's one thing that you have to have. You have to have plans, and you have to have a plan of action. Then you have to put the action into play and see the building go up. But as you're building it, you have to refer back to those plans that you first started with. So we're going to talk about customizing your life in 2025. Okay, this is something that I do every October. But why in October? For a few reasons. Most businesses, they end their fiscal year in September and they start their next year in October. And I don't necessarily want to align with them, but for selfish reasons, I want to have my plans for next year already thought about and put down on paper before the holidays hit, you all. It just makes sense. People get busy in November. People get busy in December with Thanksgiving and Christmas, family coming in. You want to have fun. You don't have to be worried about, well, what am I going to do next year as far as the budget's concerned? What am I going to do next year as far as whatever's concerned? And the next thing too that I'd like to do, if there are any things at the end of the year that I need to tie up loose ends on, such as I give a certain amount to my church every month. But if there are some charitable organizations that I did not donate to this year that I want to donate to, I want to make sure I get them in before the end of the year for tax purposes, and also to make sure I give that money away that I had planned to give away. So this is a good time to assess where I am with that, because I have 3 more months to get it done. And the last reason is because I just want to get it over with. To be quite honest, once it's done, that is one thing that has been lifted off of my plate. I don't have to worry about it. I can enjoy the rest of the year knowing the things that I have planned, they're already in place. And when January 1 hits, I'm running on the things that I have planned. I can look at them at the end of December and I can make whatever adjustments that I want to, but it's done. I don't have to worry about certain things. And that's the reason why October is a very, very special month for me and a month that I pay close attention to. Now, I'm going to ask you for 2 hours of your time to do this, simply 2 hours. And it'll probably take you less time than this if you follow through with this each year as you go on for this. Okay, the very first thing I want you to do is to look at your budget. If you had one for this year, and you would need to have one really for more than just a month. If you made it in September, you're probably gonna have to wait about a month or two before you can actually put this one into play. But I go ahead and set up my spreadsheet for 2025 based on the money that I spent this year. So on my budget, it's a spreadsheet. I have an average running total, and I also have a total, like an average of every month that I'm spending on the certain categories. But then I have a total at the very end that I'm spending on these certain categories. So I know at any month where I'm high, where I'm low, where I have to make adjustments in utilities, you know, the summer months, the winter months, that type of thing. I know all of that ahead of time. Also, because I have an average, I can shift that average over to the beginning of next year and write that down as my projected money that I'm going to be spending each and every month. And as I go over or go under that, I can make adjustments. But I like to have that projection sitting out there because what I'm finding that groceries are going up this year, right? So next year, I'm expecting, based off of this year, I'm going to give myself a little bit more money in the grocery area. Insurance goes up every year. I'm going to give myself a little more money in that area. So the budget doesn't stay the same from year to year to year. And I can look back to next year or last year. I can look back 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I have budgets for all of these and see what I was spending back there as opposed to what I'm spending now. And I can make those adjustments. But this is a great thing because I already have it laid out. I'll lay out each month at the top, all the categories on the side. If I have to add a category or if I paid off something and I can delete a category, I have that already done. If I'm going to have it paid off by December 1st or the end of the year, I can delete that category. So it's all laid out, all ready to go. So when January 1st hits, I'm not scrambling to find out what do I need to put in the budget? How much am I spending? What am I projecting? I don't need to have any of that. I already have it laid out for me. But you need at least a couple of months of this in order to gather that information, especially on the average amount that you're spending each month for each category. So make your categories up and then get the average down and then put the spreadsheet together so you can see. If you use apps, you can do the same thing on an app. But get this one out of the way. This is the big thing you want to get out of the way. And then you're well on your way to your customized life in 2025. This you don't need to customize. You can make it a routine procedure. Hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on the latest information as it becomes available to you. And I would love to have comments. Share this one out. This is a very important one. Each month I'm bringing you, it's almost like a master class. And once you get these things down, your life will definitely change. We are not done yet. We're just getting started. The reason I said 2 hours, it's not going to take you that long to make that budget up, get the spreadsheet going, especially if you had something already going this year that I've been asking you to do all year. It'll probably take you maybe 20, 30 minutes. So there's another part that I want you to spend a little more time on, and it's actually designing your life for 2025. There are things that we want to do differently. There are things we want to improve on, but unless you know specifically what those things are, you don't know where you're going to go or what you're going to do. So I have 6 things that I'm going to list for you that I do every year. I go over the list, and this list stays consistent with me. If I don't get it all done this year, I will either add or subtract or change some things for next year. But these are 6 things that I try to concentrate on each year. I don't want to overwhelm myself, but there are different areas that I need growth in, and there's different areas that I think you can have growth in that will make you a better person. All right. That first area is skill set. What are the particular skills that I want to improve on for the year of 2025. I have selected a few. One of the things that I want to improve on as far as my skill set is my video abilities and my drone, my camera stuff that I have going on. I haven't done a lot of that in a long time, and so I want to improve on my skill set there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start focusing on either classes, YouTube videos, areas where it will help me improve on my skill set when it comes to that. I'm researching equipment, new equipment out there, because I want to bring you guys the best videos that I possibly can. I want them crisp. I want them sharp. I want them where you can pay attention and enjoy them and really like them. I want to give whatever I can to you guys, my audience. So that's a skill set that I'm going to work on in 2025. So write down for you what skill set is going to be your focus for 2025. All right, now you know it couldn't be Adrian's Avenue without me focusing on some type of financial goals. I always have financial goals, and so should you. Whatever it is, whether it's paying down bills, whether it's building up savings accounts, whether it's investing in something. As a matter of fact, right now, some of the things I'm looking at with the interest rates being kind of coming down a bit, I'm looking at other investment properties. I'm doing my research, going out there, and of course, being a realtor, I have kind of an upper hand because I'm always getting hit up by people wanting to sell something, people wanting to sell something for less than it's actually worth, investors out there, just all kinds of people texting me, calling me all the time. So I do have an upper hand in that. There are certain areas that I'm looking in. So I've already started that now, but into 2025, I want to make a purchase on something, another investment property. So that's something that I'm looking into. What are your financial goals? If the stocks and the bonds and your emergency fund and everything is great, what are your financial goals? Or if everything is not great, maybe you want to increase the amount that you have in your emergency fund. Maybe you want to do something like that. So whatever it is, find something financially that you want to build on. Paying down bills. Maybe it's a big bill that you want to pay down so you can take that off your budget category and you won't have to worry about that next year. But get some financial goals in place that you want to accomplish yourself. Because if you don't have them, you won't know what to focus on, what to concentrate on, and how your daily actions should add to what you're trying to do financially. All of these are about your daily actions adding to what you're trying to do, either financially, spiritually, whatever you're shooting for. That's where you should be. Next up is spiritually, because that's very important for everyone in my mind. If you want to get closer to God, what are you doing? Are you reading your Bible more? Are you having quiet time in the mornings? Are you praying more? Are you fasting? What are you doing to try to accomplish your goals as far as becoming more spiritual and more connected? Are you looking at the Bible and then relating it to your own life? Are you truly living that spiritual life that you should be and not necessarily pretending or only living it on Sunday and not living it the rest of your out throughout the week? These are some things that we need to become realistic with ourselves. We don't know how long we're going to be here. But we do know we make an impact on others, and what you believe, how you're living. If you believe in one thing and live in another way, it's hard to show somebody else. But if you're believing one thing and living by those guidelines that you believe in, it should be very easy to show someone else. And hang in there when it comes to your faith and when it comes to believing. But get some type of spiritual goal out there for you. I want to focus more on reading the Bible more. I have a Bible app and I focus on the little topics in the Bible app. I'll focus on them and concentrate. Sometimes they go for 5 days, 6 days, but I love that. Every morning I have something that I'm reading about and something that I'm reading the Bible and applying to that. My prayer life, I want the prayer life to go better. The fasting or the bread and the wine, these things that we can focus on to grow closer to God, to grow more spiritually, so that we can have a better life. We can sleep better at night and know that we have someone we can depend on. We don't have to worry about a whole bunch of things if we get our spiritual life right. Okay. So that may be one of the things, that's one of my 6 things that I focus on every year. Another thing that I focus on is my health. What am I doing for my body? Or if there's some things that came up in the blood work this year, there were a few things that were heading in the wrong direction. I've not hit it yet, but they were heading in the wrong direction. I made some changes to my diet, made some changes to my supplements that I'm taking. But we need to pay attention to that. When the doctor tells you, oh, this is getting a little high, or this is not good enough, or you're low in this category, pay attention to what they're saying. And I don't necessarily all 100% of the time run to medications for everything. I talk to my nutritionalist, see what she has to say, and then whatever supplements she recommends, and go get another blood test to see how we're doing in that area. Because most of the times, you guys, really, to be honest, it's what we are eating that's affecting our health the most. Really, these fast food places out there, you don't know what you're eating sometimes in some of these places that you go to. But when you start cooking meals yourself and start regulating what you're eating yourself, you know what's going into there. I've been including more ginger and more garlic into my recipes that I'm cooking for myself. I watch I'm a meat eater. I'm not vegetarian, so I'll just put that out there. I need protein, and I need meat, animal protein. I know some people say you can get it from plants and stuff, but my nutritionalist wants me on animal protein, and I'm all for that. But I'm careful with the kind of meat that I eat, that I put in my body. And I'm not going to try to start an argument between eating meat and eating whatever else. You do what's good for your body. I know what's good for my body, and I can read what's good for my body with the blood test and the other testing that I'm getting done with my body. So that being said, pay attention. Go to the gym. Do some walking. I've been doing the 10,000 steps now for probably about 10, 15 years. I don't miss it. I always, even if I'm up at night walking around the house before 12 o'clock midnight, I get my steps in. So I'm doing that. I'm going to the gym. I'm focusing on different areas of my body that I want to strengthen, become stronger in. So do this, care about your health, because if you don't feel good, if you don't look good, if you're tired, dragging around all the time, always sleepy, always hungry, you're probably not going to be as productive as you possibly could be. You want to live your best life, but it starts with making great decisions about what you put into your body, making great decisions about how you treat your body, and making great decisions about how much sleep you get. And water is important too. Anyway, that's another video for another time, but that's one of the other areas that I make sure I focus on. Now, this one may or may not be for some of you guys, but if you have businesses going on, you should have business goals. I have a few businesses that, you know about my rental business, about the landlord business, and I'm trying to increase and grow in my YouTube followers and that type of thing. So I have to have business plans. I have to have something out there that I know that I want to focus on for businesses. Now, these things don't all run together. They're separate categories, but I make sure that as I'm living my life, as I'm making my daily decisions, that I'm hitting on these when the opportunity comes up. So if there's something out there that I want to do with business, such I've already shared with you about the real estate and, increasing in the houses that I'm buying and selling, as far as in the real estate business, as a real estate agent, I want to do that too. There are certain things that I have out there, and I have to make plans and follow the plans that I make for that. But if you have a business, this will apply to you. Make sure you have plans in 2025. Where do you want to go? Start now focusing on that. So when January 1 hits, you can hit the ball, you can hit the road running, and you know exactly what you need to do because it's all planned out and you'll be living your custom life. Last but certainly not least is relationships. This is something that I used to overlook every year. It's like, okay, I have my family, I have my friends, everything's cool. But this is something that you want to build on because relationships and friendships are critical. Business relationships, friendships, people around you that support you, that's really in your corner, how you treat your family and that type of thing. It's very important. I often refer back to Tim McGraw's song, Live Like You Were Dying. There's a line in there that says, I want to be the friend a friend would like to have. When this guy found out that he had a terminal illness and he was about to die, he said that statement, I want to be the friend a friend would like to have. And if you think about that, only you can make that adjustment. We have criticisms of some friends that we may have, and you would like for them to change and do something better. But what about you? Are you the friend that a friend would like to have? Are you there when someone needs you to be there? You know, are you loyal to them? Are you doing the things that they really need in their life? Are you telling them when they're wrong that this is wrong, you should stop doing that? Are you being honest with them? That's a true friend. That's done out of, tell them in a loving way now. But that is a true friend, because who would want somebody to drink poison and you know that they're drinking poison and you just let them drink it anyway, knowing that it's going to affect them, if not right now, sometime down the road. So be the kind of friend a friend would like to have. And that's one thing that I want to focus on for 2025. Some friends I don't talk to a lot, but when they call, we just pick up like we've been talking to each other all day long, you know, or all week long or all month long. It's nothing like you got to get to know them all over again. It's not like that. So be the kind of friend a friend would like to have. If you're not the family member that your family members would like to have, and I know this is a kind of a gentle subject to be about, because sometimes we have to love our friends and family from a distance, and there's nothing wrong with that. But be true to yourself and be true to your friends. And if it's someone that you do need to cut off, it's probably because they handed you the scissors to do it. So keep that in mind also. Everything is not perfect. Everything is not rosy, but you are only responsible for your part. You cannot control what other people do, their actions or anything. You can control how you react to that. But if your spiritual life is solid, if your financial life is solid, if your health is solid, you have a lot of good things going for you. And there are other people out there that would love to have you as a friend. So if someone, you know, wants to leave you or not be there for you, it's probably better off. You'll be better off that they did, because it'll just be a better situation for you. So with that being said, those are the 6 things that I want to concentrate on for the year of 2025. Hopefully you've picked up some areas that you may need to focus on. I have one more thing for you before I leave you, because this will put the bow on the present. Last but not least, that may take you maybe an hour to do. So you still have 30 minutes left, right? And maybe you can go beyond 2 hours, but you should be able to get this done 2.5 hours. The last thing I want you to do, I want you to dream a little. I have a list called my Olympic 2025 list. And this is a list that it's built on dreams, it's built on impossibilities, and it's built on just pure faith. And these are things that I dream about that they may or may not happen in 2025. Number 1, I would love for my house to be paid off in 2025. Is there a possibility? Absolutely, there's a possibility. You know, as long as I'm breathing and living, there's always a possibility. Is it probable? Probably not. But who knows what may happen in 2025. There's some things that happened this year that I had put on that dream list, and they actually happened. So these are things that you want to happen, that they may be far-fetched, but you never know. Just dream a little. And is it a part? Some of these are on my bucket list, some things that I've been wanting to do, that I want to do, you know, before I leave Earth. And so they're on my bucket list. But this is a time for you just to dream. Put it out there, write it down. You don't have to share this one with anybody, but I would look at it on a consistent basis. I would look at it at least once a month to see the things that you're dreaming of, the things that you really want to accomplish. And, you know, they can be as large or as small as you want them to be. I'll make mine super big. I'll make mine almost impossible that they will happen, but who knows? You know, I'm not going to limit myself. I'm not going to limit God from doing things for me. So, but I want to know, you know, if I were to get a big inheritance, I don't play the lottery, but if I were to get a big inheritance of $1 million or a couple of million of dollars, what are some of the things that I would do with it? I want this already lined out, because if you get this money, you're just going to go haywire and start spending stuff and doing things that you really would not have done. So make this list, dream a little, make this list. It doesn't have to be a long list. It could be 5 items. It could be 10 items, however long you want to go. But give yourself the liberty and the freedom to dream a little. You work hard every day, dream a little, and just see what may happen with those dreams. Okay. So with that, hopefully you have your marching orders for October. Take the 2.5 hours to do this and customize your life for 2025. You guys, a lot of people are not going to do this, but if you do this, you're already ahead of the game because you have a game plan already prepared for you. Of course, you'll need to put some action steps in there, but you have this game plan already prepared for you, laid out for you before 2025 gets here. So get your plan together. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video.